In this Sekiro Shadows Die Twice guide, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at the Loaded Spear prosthetic tool. This is the first of 10 such guides exploring every facet of these, from explaining just what each upgrade does to how they can best be utilized in combat. I've decided to begin with the Loaded Spear because I think it's one of the more interesting tools that you can use in Sekiro. The Loaded Spear can be obtained reasonably early on in Sekiro, as you only need to defeat one boss to obtain it, Gyobonewa. Immediately after defeating the Blazing Bull, head forward and jump across the gap on the left, grappling to the other side. Once there, defeat the spear-wielding enemy on the bridge to receive the gatehouse key. Exploring Ashina Reservoir, you will come across a small building that has a locked door. Inside, you will find Gob's broken horn. Return this to the sculptor to gain the Loaded Spear prosthetic tool. The Loaded Spear is primarily used for its long range. Range is a luxury in Sekiro, and the spear can keep you out of reach of your opponent's blade, while at the same time ensuring you deal vitality and posture damage. In addition, it can pull enemies to you for no additional spirit emblem cost, bringing them into range for follow-up attacks. To do this, you first press R2 to thrust with your spear, and then R2 again to pull the enemy to you. The Loaded Spear works particularly well if you have the Chasing Slice skill, as the follow-up attack is very fast, but can only be used if you do not use the pull function. This combo, R2 then R1, is effective against very aggressive enemies that have long-reaching weapons like those that also have spears, and against enemies that tend to jump backwards like Lady Butterfly or the Okami warriors. The Feggin blade skill allows you to do an attack after you've performed the pull with the spear, allowing you a follow-up no matter how you use it. Unlike the loaded axe, this is a very fast attack, and even faster than a normal R1 attack would be if this skill is not known. The Loaded Spear thrust type is a variant of the Loaded Spear and is the first upgrade you can obtain for it. It allows for 3 successive hits by holding down the R2 button. If you only press R2 instead of holding it, you will only do a single strike, just like the default Loaded Spear. You can pull at the end of all 3 hits or the single strike by pressing R2 again for no spirit emblem cost. Chasing Slice and Fang & Blade work exactly the same way with this version of the Loaded Spear. The Loaded Spear Cleave type is the next upgrade of the Loaded Spear and performs a wide sweeping attack when R2 is held. This spear type is meant to be used against many enemies at once, since it strikes in an almost 360 degree arc. However, due to the fact that it has an extremely long wind-up animation, it is very difficult to pull off when surrounded. In addition, this attack has no poise, meaning one hit and your attack will be cancelled completely. This makes this upgrade the least useful of all. The Spiral Spear upgrade works much the same way the Loaded Spear thrust type works, with a few differences. Pressing R2 will perform a standard thrust attack, but deals substantially more damage than any previous upgrade. It also does vitality damage through an enemy's block or deflect on this attack. When performing the 3-hit combo by holding R2, only the last hit will pierce defenses. This makes this combo very situational, and is best used when an enemy is exposed and unable to defend. When in doubt, the single strike should be the default attack. The Leaping Flame is the final upgrade of the Loaded Spear, and its moveset is the same as the Loaded Spear cleaving type. However, it deals much more damage than any previous upgrade except the Spiral Spear. These appear to deal roughly the same amount of damage. This spear can also be used to set the burning status ailment on enemies via repeated thrusts or sweeps, but takes an exceptionally long time to do so. And, contrary to the description, it does not knock enemies down when using the sweeping attack. Because this spear uses 2 spirit emblems per attack, it makes it the least cost-effective of all upgrades. Final tips. The Loaded Spear is an extremely efficient prosthetic tool because of its very low cost of 1 spirit emblem. It has a variety of uses and is very good against aggressive enemies or enemies with far-reaching attacks. Consider having it as one of your 3 you keep equipped by default. The biggest downside of the Loaded Spear is that you gain no poise from using it, meaning that you can be interrupted during its longer than a standard attack animation quite easily. For this reason, learning the timing and range of its attack are essential for success when using it. The Loaded Spear, like other prosthetic tools, is affected by attack power. Therefore, every single boss that you kill will make this tool more powerful. Akko's Sugar, Akko Spirit Fall, and Yashiriku's Spirit Fall will all not only increase your Kusabi Maru damage, but also spear damage as well. Keep this in mind when using the spear against tougher enemies. The pull attack from any form of the Loaded Spear can be used to rip the armor off a small subset of enemies, like Shigekichi of the Red Guard, but it is so infrequent it is almost not worth noting. However, the Loaded Spear is extremely effective in the Guardian Ape and Headless Guardian Ape fights. Using the spear pull on the neck of the Headless Ape after it falls to the ground does insane posture damage and makes these fights go much more easily. Chasing Slice can be used in succession with the single thrust attack from any spear upgrade to kill Lady Butterfly rather easily in Phase 2. In this phase, she will keep attempting to jump backward in order to snap her fingers and summon the illusory spirits. By thrusting with R2 and then pressing R1 for chasing Slice, she will not be able to get away to do this, making this fight much less difficult. If you are having trouble with Lady Butterfly or are just annoyed by those damn spirits, then give this method a try. Lastly, if you had to pick one upgrade to use, you'd choose the Spiral Spear hands down. It retains the 1 Spirit Emblem cost, it pierces defenses, and it does nearly twice as much damage as any previous upgrade. It takes many attacks from Leaping Flame to set bosses on fire, and when you combine that with the 2 Spirit Emblem cost, it's just not that good. Aim to get Spiral Spear and only upgrade past that if you are aiming for upgrades for other prosthetic tools. Stay tuned for more prosthetic tool guides and be sure to check out our boss and beginner guides if you need more help with the game.